This is episode 186. Doug is so mad.
Because Mega Peen Rig Derek didn't want in his podcast feed. So
just in the text, we can talk about it all we want.
It's the tone control, now with video.
Look at this.
Look at what?
Look at this. Look at us.
Okay. So I sure do hope this is going to work because we decided to go for it. This show is a little different than normal. And if you're listening to this on the podcast version, forget I said that. This show is exactly the same as always.
Right.
No changes.
The audio feed version that you listen to in your car is unchanged.
Yeah. So Derek has been doing all this wonderful hard work on the Tone Control YouTube channel, doing live stream, pedal demo, creation fun. And why am I looking down at my computer screen when my camera is over there? I'm going to slowly start getting used to the fact that we decided to start trying to do this show in video.
Yeah.
And I realized that I have slowly acquired the skills to maybe be able to actually do this because I've been doing game streaming for a minute, and it actually might make my life a little easier because I'm trying to do less editing in post anyway and just kind of like streamline the whole process. We produce the show should be the main part of the work, and then it should just flow out there because I really don't change very much in post anyway. So this is very flying by the seat of our pants, but I put the scenes together just today. We did a little test and it was like, okay, whatever. So we're going to see what happens. We're recording the show as a video, and hopefully it's going to be cool.
For broadcast, it's like we are broadcasting now instead of like recording. So we are doing both still technically, but it's such a weird feeling that it's different. So, it was like, it all started from like, oh, well, maybe we should like turn a camera on while we do these pedal demos. That's cool. Yeah. Well, maybe we should just turn a camera on while we do the podcast. And since the infrastructure is already there, it's not that hard, right? It's not much more work, and it actually could make things easier. So it's a weird combination of things. So, Yeah, so if you're listening on the podcast, I am the big differences for me is I'm running some software differently because I'm essentially like live producing a video with which isn't complicated. I just created some scenes with our cameras. So come check it out on YouTube, and I'm going to be showing you our cameras, which the non-live audience has never been able to see before. But we have this YouTube channel, so why not? So essentially it's the same show, but for the sake of YouTube, instead of just running a basic graphic, which a lot of podcasts could do, and we could do also, I figure we're here anyway with our cameras, so I'll just throw our cameras into it, and I'm going to copy in my screen that I am viewing whatever the news item that we were talking about happens to be. I'm realizing right now that between triggering live sound effects, which I haven't had to do much of in the past, and filling this panel that has whatever we're talking about on it, I don't have anything for this part of the show where we're just talking okay. We'll make a new thing. How about that? Right now, up on screen is a news item, and we'll get to that in a minute, but we need a, like, what the fuck's been going on, bruh? Panel. Check out,
we need a scene for that.
We do. What's been going on? Let's see. Some fun things. I'm wearing my Too Late the Hero shirt today. Let's get a look at this. Remember this thing? This thing is like one of my favorite shirts. And I'm wearing it kind of in spirit today because this week is the 10-year anniversary of Statement of Purpose. Too Late the Hero's seminal record. It's friggin' enormous. And they put out, I haven't watched it yet, but they put out this video, like 2-hour podcast type thing of them sort of interviewing each other, talking about the making of that record. And it's on Jared's channel. I got to go find it and check it out. But I remember where I was when I first heard Statement of Purpose, and it was in your parents' basement, Justin.
Oh, really?
On MySpace. We pulled it up on MySpace. And it was,
MySpace.
yeah. And I remember like coming up for weekend band stuff, and it was like, hey, Too Late's new song is out, or new album's out, whatever it was. Pulled it up, and we all sat there and we're kind of like, oh, like we're going this direction now.
This is a real record.
This is a real thing. And it's the best. So, look up Too Late the Hero Statement of Purpose. It shreds. Yeah. It's so good. Other cool things, I got these amazing whiskey glasses. I now have like a small whiskey glass collection, I guess. Do you see what's going on here?
Nice.
I don't know if you can see this. There's like a mountain range inside.
Well, I saw photos prior to now.
Yes. They're incredibly cool. So this is the Grand Teton Mountain Range. It doesn't really come through on the Discord feed, I guess, but like it's wild.
There's too much shine off your
there's
screen.
There's too much reflection.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Block. No. A little bit better. So anyway, there's like an inverted sort of injection molded into the glass mountain range scene.
Yeah.
And so the bottom of the glass is not flat, which is very cool. So like the whiskey fills the valleys and stuff. It's pretty rad.
The whiskey fills the valleys.
Yeah.
That's on my list anyway. I don't know.
What else? I already typed it. You're good.
Okay.
Oh, this is not really a news item, I guess. I could have added it, but I didn't. So it's sorry, Doug just hit me with like a crazy, like not quite inside joke, but an inside joke from like 3 weeks ago. And it really struck me. Okay. Anyway, Helix 3.1 came out today.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really do a lot of preamble to these announcements. They just sort of like, it's here, go get it. And it's very exciting. So I was downloading that today. And loading that up, it was cool. I just threw the Helix on the desk and I was like, plug it in, load it up, back up, restore all this stuff. And there's now
like an Amazon delivery. Like, bam.
Well, I was like, I could put it on the floor where I usually, like under the desk where I usually have it. And I was like, no, I don't have time. Move everything out of the way.
We're civilized.
Yeah, so I just threw the whole thing on the desk, plugged it in. Now they've added a new amp. They added the orange Rocker Verb Mark III, 100 watt, the dirty channel from that amp. And it sounds really cool, really, really good. I like it a lot more than the other orange amp that's in there. And there's some cool new effects.
Somebody tell Gower.
I did. I messaged him. I was like, you're going to be really mad. Get ready. They added the rat. There's like a new rat because the rat that was in there was kind of technically broken and they didn't know it.
Didn't we just talk about this? The rat 2?
Well, so there was a rat in Helix, but they were like in the press release or the patch notes for this, they were like, turns out it was broken. And we just figured it out. So we fixed it, but a lot of people use the old one, so here's a new one. So now there's 2.
Oh man.
And now there's also like a cool stereo tape machine doubler effect that you can add like tape saturation stuff and a cool new delay thing with like crazy algorithms. And I haven't really gotten that far into it, but it's exciting. It's cool. I love new Helix update day because it like takes my really cool thing and makes it even cooler and it feels brand new again.
Awesome.
It's fun. Yeah.
Rad. Well, I don't have really guitar-y stuff. I got my Brian is wrong. I've got my my second vaccine dose was on Sunday, and I had some reaction. It was.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It didn't like make me super sick, but it made me sick enough that I was pretty well useless at trying to work. I tried to work a bit. It was pretty useless. It turned out to be sort of a bad day to miss because I had a pretty full schedule going for the next couple of weeks. And then one of my clients was this audiobook that's supposed to be finished and due a week from today. So at the time I had like 10 business days, and then they were like, oh my God, can you get that done to us by the 15th? Which is the day we're recording this is April 15th, Thursday. Mm-hmm. So I was like, so realistically, you need to end of day the 14th for this event thing. And so I thought about saying no, that's not possible. There's literally not enough time. And then I thought there is enough time if I work into nights and stuff, which I can do. So
Yeah.
the real answer is there's a number that makes this worth it to me. And so it's like, okay, well, you got to pay extra for the rush job, and which they could always say no to. They did not say no to that.
Okay.
So that's fine. So I busted ass I came back to life on Tuesday, got caught up on some extra things so that I would have time, blasted out this whole audiobook, not a long one. It's like an educational thing. It blasted out an entire short audiobook in one day, which is mentally grueling. And then I had to work in the evening to catch up on the other stuff I was supposed to be doing on Wednesday. But that's fine. That's what we did. And I feel very successful. I feel caught up.
Good.
And did not back down on doing this video thing today. So I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
We're taking care of it.
Good. I'm proud of you too. Good job.
That's where I am.
It's sort of interesting you mentioned that. We were just talking about like work and life and free time and how sort of the tides are changing with this pandemic stuff. And like, I've been sort of thinking about, I've been in grad school for about a year now, and I've got probably 18 months to go, give or take. Mm-hmm. So I've been thinking about and I'm doing one course at a time. So that's one course every 10 weeks. Or courses are 10 weeks, and I get a week or two off depending on the calendar. So I can take up to 2 courses at a time per my job, like, because I'm going to school at the university I work at. So I'm allowed to take another one, but I'm also thinking, like, do I want to do that to myself? That's a lot of work. Do I, there are, and like you just said, this is what reminded me, there are technically hours. Like, there are hours in the day for me to do this, but at what cost, and I don't get paid for it, obviously.
Right.
So like for you saying that,
but there's still an equation, right? It's like,
there's a dollar amount for you, the value of, right. And I could finish my thing. If I even did one term of 2 courses, I would graduate 10 weeks sooner than I would now. And if I did that twice, that's 20 weeks. And now we're approaching kind of half a year. So like, it's on my mind. I still don't think I want to do it because it would just take up all the time, and having free time is important to me, even if like it's so hard to look at and be like, well, there are hours. I could do it during these hours. But the free time is valuable too, So I don't know. And I hold myself to a really high standard with school now because I'm a grown up and not an idiot. So it's so like,
because you're a grown ass man.
Right, exactly. So doing well is important to me.
Yeah.
And which I'm doing well, and that feels great. So like, if I did 2 courses at a time and did not do as well in both of those, is 2 Bs at once more valuable than 2 A's over twice as much time? I don't know. I need to figure out how I feel about that.
Yeah.
So
Derek cares about his school performance.
I do.
This I know. Yeah. Well, all right.
That's what's going on.
That's what's
I'm trying to think. I rarely come prepared with something I need to tell Justin, and like, you're always like, here's the thing that happened, and you have like this great story to tell, and I'm just like,
I felt like you talked about like the helix. I don't know.
I wing it
now
every time.
You made me lose my train of thought. You made me sound like a moron because you accused me of being extremely prepared, and I responded by literally dying here on the camera.
It seems like you're prepared, like you've pulled it off for 7 years.
Do I? All right, okay, let's think about it this way. Do I make you go first?
Do you? I don't actually know.
I did this time, and I definitely decided what I was going to talk about while you were talking.
Huh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever detected a pattern with that.
Yeah, I don't know
either. It's funny because that's like half the Tone Jerks show. That's what they do. They're like, Kyle, what is shaking? What is grooving?
Yeah.
What's new in your world? And that's what they say.
I like
and I'm
that.
like,
I
I'm
like
ready
that
for
on
it.
their show. And I feel like we end up kind of doing that. And I'm thinking about that too. I'm like, that is a good thing that they're doing on the show. It never ends up being like we don't have a phrase for it, do we?
No.
It's so much less official for some reason, but I think isn't that literally what we're doing?
It is.
It's like freeform though, because like if we wanted to, we could just do something different.
Sure.
Because we didn't give it a name.
Right. I mean, we've done, in all the iterations of this show over the years, we've kind of filled up this space with all kinds of other stuff. But like,
what's good, homie?
I like what we have now because it is we've mentioned this before. Like, we don't talk a ton during the week in this sort of casual friend catch-up way. It's usually messages back and forth about the podcast. So, sometimes there is an inherent we like each other and want to talk to each other kind of moment here.
We'll go an entire 2 weeks sometimes where the things that we've said to one another are, it's in the book, it's in the Dropbox. Mm-hmm. Okay, scheduled. And then on Thursday at about 5, you good? Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, or if there's occasionally something like, I really need Justin to read, I'm like, make sure you read this.
Here's a news item that will blindside you if you're not careful.
Yeah, like, some stuff, like, it's fun to just talk about off the cuff, and other things, I'm like, you would really like this, and I want you to, like, be informed about it when it comes time to talk about it, because it makes for a better conversation instead of me telling you about, like that cool reverb pedal from a few weeks ago. I was like, Justin, you need to see this.
Yeah, exactly. I want to have known that. Mm-hmm. All right.
Looks like the chat thinks we hate each other.
like we're fake friends. We're show friends. Yeah, I get it. What's going on? Yeah.
Right.
Interesting. I wonder what we could do with that. We could do something with that.
I remember I used to listen to Stuff You Should Know a lot, and I still do occasionally, just not as much. And fans would write in convinced that they didn't record the show together, that they would they would record it with like pauses for the other one to speak in their own time and stuff completely separately. And they're like, don't be ridiculous. No one records podcasts that way. It's stupid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did somebody just text you?
Yeah, can you? Did
I
that
heard
come
that.
Did it come over the thing? All right, I got to do not disturb my computer then. My wife wants me to know that she loves the white IPA that we got.
Oh, good.
So great. And I'm just gonna do not disturb my computer.
More like wife IPA, am I right?
There it is. All right. Hey, let's start this. I made sounds that I think I made enough sounds, so let's see how this goes.
Thanks to Pedal Genie for sponsoring the tone control. Visit pedalgenie.com and start your wish list today.
Thank you, Robot. Thank you, Pedal Genie. First up, already on the screen, it's the Epiphone Casino Vintage Sunburst. Now, I found the link for this because you had not put one in the show notes when I created the scene earlier. So, is this correct?
You are correct. Yes.
All right, super. Because your news item did not say Vintage Sunburst, so I was afraid I found just like one particular part of
that's
it, but
just
I couldn't
the
find
color.
anything else.
That's just the color it comes in.
Yeah. Right
one
on.
of the two colors it comes in.
So, an American-made Epiphone.
Yep.
The USA collection. Tell me about this.
Yep. So I put this in here mostly because I wanted to talk about the idea of American-made Epiphones that cost $2,700 and how we all feel about that. This is not to say that Epiphone will stop making affordable guitars. Yeah. And it's not like Gibson makes the Casino. So okay, is it okay? And it's just sort of surprising to me to see such a high priced item come from Epiphone. I mean, it kind of makes sense because all the restructuring that Gibson and Epiphone have been doing lately, but it's kind of refreshing. But also, I think of Epiphone as the affordable brand, which again, that's just my problem. It's not right.
Well, they are the affordable brand. This is out of typical for them. So that's fine.
Correct. Yeah. And it's, again, the Casino has always been an Epiphone model, and it was never moved to Gibson. So they have always had that kind of space, I guess. But
right. So I'll tell you what this is my first impression. Not that I haven't been staring at this for the first however many minutes of the podcast because I didn't have anything else to put on the screen. But so I get it that this is a top model, right? So this is the luxury.
It's made in the U.S. Yeah, it's
made
the
in the
real
USA
deal.
Luxury Epiphone. I don't see I see the inlays are different, but I would think you could go a little further with the luxury visual appointments. Now I'm sure this is well made. Well, I'm just saying, I'm looking at that headstock, the totally plain black headstock, and if you threw this much money at a guitar, typically, wouldn't you expect other things? Now, I mean, there's body bindings. There's a fun little the P90s are cut
Gibson
the
P90s.
pick guard and and
so right, I know what you're saying. So the headstock thing, like that's a whole new thing. Like Epiphone redesigned their headstock recently, within the last year or so, to better align with the Gibson headstock. So it's like, Epiphone is now like they're staging it as like it's Gibson, but it's Gibson. So like it's kind of a little more. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah.
So there's that, but also like I think this is one of those guitars that's like very heavily inspired by its original model because it is an old model, so they're not going to spiff it up in any kind of way. So, but it's right there. It's got the Gibson P90s.
The Gibson P90 single coil, legendary tone. Yeah,
it's hand wired, which 12-inch radius, 22 frets. Yeah, nitrocellulose finish, so that's a big deal to me. Trapeze tailpiece, very traditional, full hollow body, so there's no center block like a 335, totally hollow. And it is the 2021 version of an old Epiphone Casino with all of the guitars made in America appointments. So it's just got that higher QA, I guess. It's got the higher QA and it's got the tighter tolerances on manufacturing, all that stuff.
Right.
So
electronics, miscellaneous. So I don't not support this, but I will say that I think this headstock here, this is a missed opportunity. And if that was like if the binding followed the neck all the way down and wrapped that headstock, I think that's all they need. And maybe they put a little badge in the middle, maybe they put the E here as well in abalone, do something fancy. And I wouldn't have blinked at that. You know what I mean? But
sure.
You leave that plain, like this looks like it could be the same headstock from an Epiphone special that costs $150.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Now I have sticker shock. And not just because it's Epiphone, right? Because if anybody's going to charge this much for a guitar, I wouldn't expect their binding to, I wouldn't expect them to just go, well, let's just throw any plain headstock on there. You want it to be pretty.
And there is no Gibson Casino that's like the upgrade model, right? It's this. So it's not even like they're pulling you into the next trim level because this is the highest end.
Right.
So,
exactly.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's cool. I like that they're making the Casino again. I think like they haven't made it for a while or something like that, or it's been made overseas. So that's fine. But I like that Gibson, or I like that Epiphone is making stuff in the US again. That's kind of cool. It does kind of reframe them in my mind as far as like cheap, overseas made entry-level guitars, because that's not their thing here. So
what is it? In the chat, I think this can tread water for a bit. Tell me what you mean by that. I'm very interested in that comment. What does that mean? And
he's not even typing. Oh my God!
While you hear me, while the time it takes for the sound to bounce across the world and you to hear me, I realized like float, like you could physically float on water for a minute because it's hollow.
Yeah.
I realized that I didn't play. I planned to play a sound at the beginning because I've got all my little sounders ready to go, right? And then I screwed it up. I planned to play a sound at the front. Frick! I'm going to put it in post. So now I'm just revealing that I made a mistake. Anyway. So, this can tread water for a bit meant nothing, apparently. Oh, well.
Other folks are saying it's kind of a cash grab.
Yeah, could be.
Kind of. Oh my God, what is that GIF? Let's move on. This is starting to...
Let's move on. Next up, we've got from EHX, the control knob. Wow, we haven't been able to live dance to our thingies before. So this is the control knob from Electro Harmonix. It's a control knob. There you have it.
Well done.
Yeah.
So does what it says in the tin.
Guys, it's cost $39.
I think that's the thing here. Like that is the price that matters. It's
Okay, so
$40.
here's the deal. Here's the deal. This is an expression pedal without an expression pedal.
It's a static expression pedal.
It's static expression pedal. So you connect this with a cable to something that has an expression input. There's a switch for whether the TRS on the plug is plus or minus. So it's compatible with different things. And then there's just two knobs. So you're setting two levels, and it will simply switch between them when you click it.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea. I mean, I know a million people have made this kind of thing before, but I like utility pedals.
Comment. It's a cool idea, but motherfucker, do you really need two different expressions?
Well,
okay, listen.
What's the expression pedal for then, buddy?
If the expression pedal only had one setting,
then guess what? It's that pedal.
It's literally just a resistor plugged into your expression input.
Yeah.
without an adjustment. It's a resistor. It's not a potentiometer.
Right. I mean, so stuff like reverbs or delays or whatever, you could sort of make it like a preset switch.
Yeah.
On a thing that might not hold
pedal
presets.
too. So this is like you're squeezing this into. See, look at the other images. Like, you're squeezing this into like a tiny little spot in your pedal board where you could not fit a real expression pedal. You couldn't even fit one of those little baby ones.
The little baby one.
The little baby pedal could not fit.
Doug says he'd be happier if it was momentary. That's a really interesting take. And I think the design of this thing inherently stops that from happening because there are two pots and two, like you set the minimum and maximum range that the latching switch goes between.
It could still be momentary if the switch was a relay, then you could switch whether it was momentary or not.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know, and then it's still just flipping between two analog pots.
I knew that. That was a dumb thing for me to say. But it is surprising. Like that would be,
you idiot.
That would be. It's like such a great feature.
It would. That's an excellent. Yeah. Good edit. Good edit. I like that.
Well, Control Knob version 2 on the table from Doug Gant. Steal it, EHX. Just do it.
Charge $45. $45. $45.39. Just it'll be great.
Just fucking do it. Ramp up, ramp down. See, these are all interesting additions, but I think that would make the pedal.
Now you're definitely turning it into the dive bomb pedal. Yeah.
No, it's it's more expensive and it'd probably be bigger, but it's $40, and if you're not kind of into shopping around and making one yourself or like custom ordering a thing, there you go, man.
The Alt-Delete pedal.
If you want
you
easy
get a bill
mode
for that, I like that.
If you want the easy version of this, just get the EHX one. The knobs set to fully counterclockwise is heel down, clockwise is toe down. So it's just that's how it works.
Rad.
Yeah. That's it. There's nothing else to say about that. It's a cool little guy.
So you know what is I just realized that I should call up Pedal Genie's site to do the
oh yeah, man.
To do the old thingamabobbers here. So we're gonna drop that right in here. And Pop, we're at Pedal Genie land. We're gonna run the ad, everybody. Hold on to your butts. You know what I'm talking about. Here we go. Oh, wait, I just realized I don't have this mixed with the music. Oh, I failed. Oh, well, she's going to read the ad anyway, and I'll overlay the music in post. Here we go.
Pedal Genie is like the Netflix of guitar pedals. Rent any pedal you want for as long as you want for one low monthly price. Shipping is included and there are no late fees or time limits. With over 1,500 pedals to try from nearly 100 different manufacturers, Pedal Genie definitely has the gear you want to try. Subscriptions start with Flex at just $19.95 a month. Try out one pedal at a time for as long as you want. Send it back when you're ready for the next one. For only $39.95 a month, the standard subscription includes shipping, so you could have a different pedal every few days. If one isn't enough for you, Pedal Genie Pro gets you 3 pedals at a time for only $64.95 a month. Shipping included. There's a subscription for everyone, and best of all, your first month is free. If you find the pedal of your dreams, the one you just have to keep, Pedal Genie will offer you a buyout option. Prices vary with the length of your membership and the type of pedal, but you'll definitely get an awesome price for the pedal in your hand. So head to pedalgenie.com to fill up your wish list with pedals, and they'll send out your first pedal ASAP. Pedal Genie, all your pedal wishes granted.
All right. This is kind of cool. I can, I sort of like live curated the ad thing a little bit.
Yeah.
That's cool. I got to redo that sound effect so it has the damn music. What a dummy I was. Okay,
Gosh.
anyway, I was rushing.
You didn't have any time to do that, Justin. Come on.
Here's the other thing. I got all the scenes and stuff ready for this live shit. Like as I was running out the door we refinanced our house and our closing was this afternoon. So I was like, did it, ran out the door, came back, put my kid to bed, and came out here to record. Okay. So here's what's up. I say Derek go first on this, and
Which involves more work from Justin.
which involves it's fine. This is all that work's all done. So Derek had go.
I had the Enzo from Maris, and we already did the live stream for this. It was last week. It's still up on, or it was over the weekend. It's still up on YouTube. All the streams will be up on YouTube permanently. So head over to our YouTube page, and you can watch me make the demo for this thing that you're about to hear.
Yeah.
And we were doing it, and the chat was going, and we're talking and like trying to dial in weird sounds and figure this thing out. I did have to pull up the manual while I was making it, which was kind of fun. But, this is one of those pedals you kind of need an advanced degree for. So it's a guitar synthesizer, which is super cool. I liked having it right after you had the one from Boss. That was kind of fun. Doug says he never asked how I liked it. I liked it a lot, but it has no place in my rig.
A very good rental.
Very good rental. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing with it, but it is not for me. And I think that is like the perfect use case of Pedal Genie. So it's a blast. So we're messing around with it, and somebody, I think Jamie, commented in the live stream chat, like, it sounds like a theme song for a kid's space TV show, kid's space cartoon or something like that. And I was like, well, there we go. Like that mission one, like that's what we're doing now. We're going to make a theme song for a kid's show, and we just ran with it. So all the tones are through Helix like usual, but I didn't like the amp, doesn't really matter in this scenario. The rest of the stuff doesn't really matter.
That's so funny.
So like I didn't pull up. I just used my regular patch that I use most of the time and didn't mess with it really, which is an AC30 type thing. Yeah. And I used some amp drive with it, which got some like really gnarly, growly stuff. Mm-hmm. Doug says it's great if you run a tight fuzz after it. I bet that's really fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like you could kill a lot of time messing around with this pedal. It can make all sorts of things. It can do more than I even touched on in this quick demo, but it's crazy. So multi-voiced instrument synthesizer. You've got some bullet points here, it looks like. Colossal multi-voiced dual oscillator synth architecture with selectable waveforms. And like there are some features on this that I was like, it's too much, So a lot of the tones are kind of based on the same parameters, I guess, but it was still really, really fun. It's got a mono mode, a poly mode, and then it's got an arpeggiated mode. What else? I can't really explain it in common guitar pedal terms, I guess, because it does
because it's
such a different thing. Yeah.
And plus this screen goes on and on, apparently. MIDI in and out, switchable input, headroom level, stereo in and out, digitally controlled analog mix, expression, presets, tap tempo, external tap tempo. And
it's also, it can do instrument or line level. So you can use it for keys or whatever. Like you can do all kinds of stuff. It's a blast. So, so let's see. Sustain is cool. Like if you crank that up, it will just grab your note and continue to sustain it even after your hand's off the guitar. Modulation adds like, it's not like modulation in the guitar sense. It's kind of slightly oscillating the filters and stuff. So it gives it what a guitar brain would understand as chorus, I guess. It kind of gives it like a little bit of a swirly type thing. Mix, so that's the best part, right? I did the whole demo with the mix all the way up, so it's 100% synth. I did not experience any latency or anything like that when I was playing, which was awesome. You could blend it. Like if you were to blend this with a really crunchy guitar tone, I bet it would be super cool. And then you can pitch up and down 2 octaves. So from 0 to 1, either plus or minus, it goes up or down in half steps. And then
okay, see, I see the granularity and stuff. Yeah.
Octave 2 just goes from octave 1 straight to 2. So you don't get half step increments beyond octave 1. But it's really pretty wild. So I think we should just play the demo. Do you have it handy?
I do have it handy. All right, here it is.
Yeah.
And it trails out forever because you just gave me all this stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to cut this off.
No, I didn't expect you to. And that was just like I hit a note and then stopped playing and it just said, I'm not done. And I was like, you got it. You got it, Enzo. You just do what you want to do.
Do your thing, man.
So,
golly.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to like write the demo with a prompt of like write a theme song for a kids show. And I like to think I kind of nailed it because I'm really into that idea. So
into the idea that you nailed it?
Into the idea of like writing a jingle or writing a theme song for like a kids cartoon. It's kind of it's specific.
Yeah.
But so anyway, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, it's not something that I really want. It's not something I did so well. I love it. It's not something that like I want on my pedal board or something like that, but it's a real heck of a lot of fun to play with for a weekend. So yeah.
Rad. All right. And that's Enzo from Maris.
Yeah, it's $300.
$300 right there.
Yep.
Way to go, kids. All right. Let's see. Oh, so it'd be me. It would be me next then, everyone.
The other podcaster here. It's your turn.
It's my turn. So I had from Keeley the hook reverb, and I was about to lift it up and show it to the camera, but the website is right here because now I have this to show to you.
We're learning this as we go, folks.
We're learning as we go. I did not pre-record anything. So in order to make this work, this is actually easier than it used to be. Because I can just plug in and it will auto switch my input. My cable is tangled. I have these stiff, heavy-duty cables that I was so proud of when I got, and sometimes you just want like a cable that will bend. Mm. Okay, that was a little interlude. Okay. Wow. That's not the right sound. Hold on. I still have to switch I still have to tell this thing to give me a guitar amp and not a mic preamp. Hold on. So power that down. Let's use the Plexi. All right. That was, now let me get my screens back up so I can see everybody. Okay. So, Neo Vintage Spring Reverberator. So I've done nothing but take this out of the box so far. So, and sort of tune the guitar. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway.
Okay.
So I'm just going to like 12 o'clock everything. It looks like we've got a...
Wait, have you said what it is?
Didn't I? It says the hook reverb. Is that how you'd say that? Hook? Hook or hoke?
I don't know. It's from Keeley.
2 O's would be hoke, except with the E on the end. I don't know if that changes it somehow. Huck. It's a reverb from Keeley anyway. So we've got a toggle switch in the middle that seems to go between F-U-G-U-E. Fugue. Okay. I can't read it. Okay. Fugue, spring, and trem reverb. So let's leave it on spring for now. Let's click it on and see what she sounds like. Anyway. Well, it sounds like a spring reverb, folks.
Sure do.
Next news item.
Classic spring reverb. Yeah, I mean, it's the spring. There's not much to talk about, I guess.
Frig, I just dropped my pick.
Ugh.
God.
This is such a professional operation.
Let's see if there's a better, something better I can show here. Additional information. No, this is all garbage. I don't want to put text on there. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
There it is.
So
spring reverb,
yeah.
a blackface trem inverb, and a fugue organ setting. Okay, so that's what those things are. So let's crank up the level. Is that? Pull it down. I think that's the output of the pedal.
Must be. So
Then I got a reverb knob on the top. There it is.
there we go. Now spring. It looks like is there some subtext on that? Does it say depth octave or something? That must be from one of the other settings.
Yeah, underneath it says depth and then octo. Oh, oct low and octave high. Okay, yeah, so those are going to be different settings, I think.
Oh, I see.
So-
Probably for the different modes. Okay.
Okay, so I see what's going on. So if you look very closely at this image, can I make it bigger?
Yes.
Check this out. Okay, so
I got it. Okay. Yeah.
so the spring is the typical stuff. That's the big text. And then you see there's this white line from the fugue setting, and that's going to be, so now we have a control for the octave high, octave low
Very cool.
in that setting. And then when we're on tremaverb, that's the gold line, which is we've got rate and depth. So anyway, so the spring, we can, yeah, so actually we got some, that spring knob all the way up versus all the way down. It kind of changes the dwell on it a little bit kind of thing. And then of course there's a tone control.
Hey.
Really bright, really dark.
Cool.
Oh yeah, gets really spooky. So let's throw it into tremaverb mode. So now we've got, what do we got? Depth and rate.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Oh man.
Yes. All right, so it's designed to give you the ultimate Fullerton, California black panel vibrato channel reverb. So Fender Blackface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the depth? Let's just max that out here. Yeah, that is pretty rad.
That's a good sound. I have a reverb pedal that has tremolo in the decay,
Yeah.
but it's like a hall reverb. It's like a big, huge cavernous reverb. It's my favorite setting. Like it's going after those old Fender amps where the trem circuit was after the reverb circuit, so any decay in the reverb would still continue to be modulated by the trem. It's so cool.
Very neat.
So cool.
All right, one last setting. So this is we're gonna have some octaves. I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna turn those down to begin with.
Goodness.
Okay, so that's with the two controls all the way down. I've got kind of a high reverb level. So that's funny. Like it does it. So I'm adjusting that reverb knob here, and it's like a length. It's like a length.
Like a decay.
Yeah, I think it's a decay length, not really a loudness anymore.
Okay.
Or maybe those are sort of the same thing, depending on how it's arranged, right? Because it could just be like
a mix.
How
almost.
long? Yeah. Okay, so let's bring in some octaves. Let's bring in the high octave. It gets to be like a shimmer verb. All right, we'll roll that back a little. The low octave, cranked it. I need to demo a reverb pedal. I'm like muting this. I'm like, this is a good demo if I mute the strings.
Yeah. So now there's an interesting thing here on the website. It says all wet is where the magic happens. No original signal, all wet spring reverb with the octave up and down. So which one of these is the
spring
the
is
dry?
in the middle?
No, this is on the fugue setting.
Okay. How am I supposed to set it?
It doesn't say. So started by playing with shimmer springs octave to up, down, da. The problem was we could hear the original guitar part. I'm just reading the little paragraph about it. Banks. Excuse me? What?
What?
What? What?
Hold on. Hold the phone. I think I may have missed the mark here. Missed a detail.
So the factory default mode is bank A. Oh, there's an internal switch to change from bank A to B. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so and bank B is
vibrato, spring with pitch bending vibrato. A blend of spring and plate reverb, and then trem with reverb and long decay. Wow.
They packed a lot into this guy.
They did. Oh, Doug's mad about this.
Doug, if I have to pull the back off the goddamn thing, I don't even want it. You don't have to. We were already impressed with it before that.
Doug's not a spring reverb fan, and he's made that perfectly clear in the chat. So now, is one of those knobs operating as a blend or a mix or something like that?
No,
Is there no?
There's no mix. The level and reverb knob, I just checked it out. The level and reverb knobs are independent. So if I throw them all the way down and all the way up, I get 100% reverb and no dry.
That's what he's saying. Okay.
That's what's going on. I'll flip it the other way to make sure. Well, I guess it's never 100% dry.
Yeah.
Because it just gets very, at least in this setting, try it in the spring setting. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Okay. So spring becomes 100% dry. But I should be able to throw it 100% wet, like this.
Yeah, pretty much. Cool. The chat does not like this pedal. I think we're operating it at fairly extreme settings also. I think it could be used in a cool way. Go back to the trem and verb one, the middle one.
Sure.
That's the setting. That's why you buy this pedal. It's right there. Yeah, I like that. I like it because it sounds like a guitar amp. Like it's the most typical setting. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Doug. He's saying like it doesn't need banks, but there's only two.
It doesn't have banks. Like, it's just got an alternate mode. So how do
call it a bank is a bit of a misnomer. Like it's more like it's just got two settings that you can, like if you want pitch bending vibrato instead of
the trem.
The trem, you can do that. Yeah, it's not like you're going to be toggling that on with your foot switch. It's just like. Mode B or
and it changes the spring mode to being like a spring plate blend, which is kind of nice, or at least that's a setting that's available in that mode.
I think there's a certain value in this pedal having so many sounds and being a regular pedal size like that. That's kind of nice. I think reverbs are often a set and forget, especially spring reverbs. I think they're kind of an always on for so many people. So this does a little bit extra. I like the trem and verb sound the most, but I like I just said, I think it's because it's like the most traditional, probably. I guess I don't know. I think it just does a good job of that.
It's the coolest. I don't know. I don't want to use a reverb. What?
Doug is so mad.
He's so mad. I personally don't want to use a reverb as an always on because I think that their tone sucks. So this is probably a higher end one a little bit. At least, you have a dry path, but they just smear things. And most of the time when I was playing music that I didn't want to be smeary, unless I did, right? So if I wanted a reverb, this actually would be an okay choice because it has these sort of soupy, dwelly settings. I remember like my favorite pedals, I didn't consider myself to be like a reverb pedal fan, but because we're doing all this Pedal Genie stuff, like as I tried more and more of them just because I sort of had to. The ones that I liked the best were the extreme ones where I could get these soupy settings. I remember that Add an Echo pedal that's like the oil can reverb. That thing's still like one of my favorite demos because it sounds fucking ridiculous. And that's what I want out of a reverb, not just like, I don't want to like make it sound like it's in a room, man. Like I never want that. If, that doesn't add anything to me. So I dig it.
I'm getting a lot of heat in the chat.
They don't like it. It's only
It's $179, which I don't think is a crazy price, especially for a brand like Keeley.
I think that's a good deal.
But like Doug's saying like, okay, 120 to 150 maybe.
Fuck you guys.
And I'm like, okay, well 179 is not that much beyond that upper threshold. It's more still, obviously. And he's saying $30 is 2 packs of strings. Like, sure, okay. Which would be a better investment. That's, subjective, whatever.
Very subjective.
I would use and like the strings. What if you used them and didn't like them?
Look, if you don't like any pedal, then that's too much money for that pedal. Like, what are we even talking about? Like, this isn't a discussion about that. You don't have to buy it. Like, hey, you know what, man? Stop being upset because guess what? Now you know that you hate this fucking pedal and you don't have to ever talk about it again. You're welcome from the Tone Control.
Yeah, we just provided you a goddamn service. He likes being upset. Oh, goodness.
Well, you're paying for it, buddy.
Yeah.
Not in the form of a pedal, of course, but in
Obviously
your generous
not.
support of this glorious
Here's
podcasting
what's
and
gonna
YouTubing
happen.
program.
Here's what's going to happen. Doug, when you reach $179 lifetime Patreon membership donations,
We're not. This isn't real. We're not doing
I'm
it.
going to buy this and send it to you. That would be such a troll. Oh my God.
That
Like
would be
free pedal,
so-
but it's a pedal I hate.
That's how you know we don't care about the money.
Oh man, that's so funny. I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. It's
Oh my God. Buy it for him for his birthday. Yep.
Here, I got you this thing that you hate.
Ah!
That'll show him.
Oh
He's
my
gonna
God.
track his donations. Don't worry, we can do it for you. Oh man,
Magnificent.
just trashing on Doug.
Yep.
What a weird night. What a weird turn of events.
This is fun. This is a lot of fun. Okay. Thanks to Pedal Genie for allowing us to do this cool stuff. And I hope you like that your ad now has graphics on YouTube because I think that's pretty fun. So anyway.
Okay. Now, Justin, I want to,
Yes.
before we go on,
Okay.
now we had said like in the beginning, we didn't have a blank screen for us to just like shoot the breeze with. Now that we're getting into the next thing on the news item or the notes list is a review.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just read
You want
it.
me to not have anything up there?
Yeah, like maybe not till after we get through the actual review so we can have this
What
like
about
dramatic.
this?
There we go. Yeah.
What's our website?
Oh, tone control show. No, just go anchor.fm/the tone control.
You want to go there instead of Tone Control Show?
Yes, I do. We should probably redirect that.
I was just going to put up something that had the logo.
Whatever.
on
Yeah,
it.
do that.
Oops, I just went to Anchor F. This is the root page for. Oh no, wait, because I'm logged in on the other.
All right, to go
friggin' thing.
tonecontrolshow.com. We're doing it live, guys.
Okay, this is live. Tonecontrolshow.com. All
And
right.
there we go. A podcast on Anchor.
This is the website that apparently does very little.
Yeah, I stopped using it because we moved
It's
to
fine.
Anchor.
This is
Anyway,
good.
okay.
We're going to work out something with just a blank graphic or something so that we can get
I think we
notes on
could,
the page.
little behind the curtain talk. I think we could just have two
Yeah.
larger videos of us instead.
yeah,
with no
throw
screen.
another scene. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be fine. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, like I said, we're doing reviews. If you're not familiar with that, it's when we find a review of music gear or some guitar industry related thing and review the review, not the gear, but maybe sometimes that happens. But it's all
Let me
about
throw
like
in a sounder here when you're done talking.
Okay, yeah, it's all about the quality of the review and what the review itself provides for us as the person maybe buying the thing. So,
Or entertaining us.
or entertaining
is-
us, or sometimes a little of both. So,
Sometimes a little of both. Yeah.
yeah.
Nice chords, Dick. Hey, that was that's the Mesa Throttle box, by the way. That I pulled that one up here because that came up in Discord chat somewhat recently, didn't it? Did something happen about that? Did they release a new version or something?
Something like that. Yeah, we were talking about this, a few weeks ago. I think. I can't remember now exactly, but
Yeah.
we should start a pedal company called Make Better Chords or something. Okay, so this week's review is it's from Sweetwater. It's for the Mogami Gold Instrument 6-inch right angle to right angle pedal cable 6-inch. So it's a patch cable. Okay, it's a Mogami patch cable. This patch cable costs $26.95. It's a 6-inch cable that costs $27.
Yikes.
So like,
It better be good.
there's that, like that's whatever. That's not what we're here to talk about necessarily, but it's a $26 6-inch cable. Okay. The review from Lee in West Palm Beach, 5 stars. Off to a great start, okay? Eliminated the unwanted noise in my 17 effect Terra 42 pedal board.
Which means, hold on, calculators at the ready. What's 17 times 26?
If you have to ask.
Because according to this review, this 5-star review, this motherfucker bought 17 of these to clean up his pedal board.
Yeah, so
Good Lord.
right, so this is a great example of why reviews are important. This guy's bragging about his 17 effect Terra 42 pedal board. So the Terra 42 is a pedal train board that is fucking enormous. It is so big, and 17 pedals.
This guy's
like
flexing real hard.
Oh, he's flexing the hardest.
Tiny little patch cable.
This tiny, and I look how many pedals I have. I bought 38 of these $27 patch cables, dude. Come on, man. This is a half-star review. I hate you for writing this.
You suck. Your review gives us no information whatsoever. You just probably think it solved your noise because you spent so much money on them.
There's a very important linguistic detail here in the term unwanted, right? He eliminated the unwanted noise.
Good point. Good point.
There's plenty of other noise, but he might want it.
He wanted all of that.
Yep. Now the next review, which was not what I came here to talk about, but I'm sorry. Let me back up to Lee for a second. He says, his music background, Sweetwater asks you your music background. He says, 40 years as a jammer and will be for life. I hate this guy so much.
He's the worst.
Okay.
Lee,
Nick,
if you're listening, you did great, man. Don't listen to us. Except he does suck, though. That guy sucks.
It sucks. It's a bad review. So it's a bad review, but it's a high, it's okay.
It's probably a stupid product, too. Let's be real.
It's a $27 patch cable, people. There is a diminishing return at some point. So yeah. I'm pretty sure some of the patch cables on my board came out of the thing at the register, where there's a tub of picks and a tub of patch cables.
Hey, lose a pick today? There's some right there.
Yeah. Now the next review is 4.5 stars.
Okay.
He said the guy says very pleased with the silence. Love these Mogami cables. My setup effects to amp to effects loop to pedals and pedal and to pedal. Wait a minute.
Slow down, buddy.
Love these Mogami cables. My setup effects to amp effects loop to pedals and pedal to pedal are all powered by Mogami Gold instrument and patch cables. And my tone is great with no hint of hiss or unwanted noise. I couldn't be more pleased. That is a very...
There it is again with the unwanted noise.
Yeah, this is a very terrible sentence. But yes, I see what he's saying.
So everything, you get what he's... Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Effects to the amp, stuff in the loop, and between pedals, using Mogami stuff. And okay, so he's highlighting that there's no hiss. It's a quiet thing. I'm very happy with it. So that's great. It's great in all settings. That's a useful review.
Yeah.
Okay. Eliminated the unwanted noise in my
contrast?
17 effects 42 Terra, big dick energy pedal board. Go fuck yourself, dude.
Straight to hell, asshole.
Music background, guitar player / luthier. Helpful. Very helpful. Music background, 40 years as a jammer and will be for life.
I know we're not supposed to be actually talking about the cable here, but Mogami makes, some of the best cables. It's high-end cable. It's, man.
It is good. Nobody denies.
High gauge, like oxygen free, like all these things that you can have as a feature of a cable you buy matter when there's a long run of it. Okay. Now, if you're putting 17 effects pedals together, yeah, there's a lot of cable there, but there's an amplifier between every one of them. That's where your noise is coming from on a pedal board. The capacitance loss doesn't matter so much as long as any of your pedals are on. Like even if they're true bypass pedals, if any of them are turned on, suddenly the unamplified run, the total capacitance is not that long.
Doug says he can hear the impedance.
I can hear the impedance. Well,
in quotes, he can't actually hear it. I think he's trolling Terra 42
But the point
guy.
is, like, if you have a long cable run, consider spending a little extra on that cable to get something that's a heavier gauge. For one thing, you want the braiding to be tougher if it's one that you're going to be moving around a lot. On a pedal board, they're not going to move around a lot. You don't have to spend extra on higher quality braided shields. They're not going to be stressed over and over again from being plugged and unplugged all the time. These are situations where you don't need a high-end cable. That's my opinion. If you had a 17 effects long pedal chain and you compared this to some cheapy cable, I bet we could measure the difference.
Sure.
It probably wouldn't be in noise though. I just don't think, like, if you're using any of those pedals, I don't think the noise is going to be the difference. It's going to be perhaps a tiny bit of high-end loss. But I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing. There again, like, they're all going to be after all these buffers. So
right.
I'm so skeptical that this would ever matter for anything that short.
And I agree. And I also think if there is any high-end loss or any sort of tonal difference, how are you going to chalk that up to the cables? Like, I know you can scientifically remove that from the equation and like test that literally, but
sure,
like you can just dial all your other shit.
That's not what anybody's doing. They're not building the pedal board twice and then checking it out and then taking the loser goes back to the store. Nobody's doing that. It's, you set it up and guess what? If you had a little high-end loss, you're going to fix that with, like, hold on, let me demo how I fix high-end loss in my pedal board.
Yeah, here we go. I'll describe for the people in the car. He's turning the treble up on the amp.
I gave that thing about a 1.5 notch up. So job done, everybody. I didn't spend $26 17 times.
Yeah. Eric says you can't do that.
Oh, well, you just fucking watched me.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, you will account for any sort of tonal variance in a million other places.
Yeah.
Like, never mind the guitar amp, but like maybe if your tone pot is not always all the way up or something, you could dial it up a little. You can, I'm sure if this dude's got 17 pedals, one of them is an EQ. If you've got 17 pedals and then one of them is not an EQ, you're fucking up.
You're fucking it up. Well, this review segment went wildly off the rails, due pretty much entirely to me. And I think that's okay.
I think this review segment, like, this highlights a very important thing.
It's
what that thing is, I don't know.
Highlights that. What the hell is the tone control for if it's not so that you don't have to buy $26 patch cables?
Yeah, I mean, and this is probably the shortest option you can get from Mogami. You can get a 10-inch patch cable for only $1 more. So there's something.
God, why wouldn't you?
Something there.
At 10, actually, according to my own arguments, at 10 inches, the pedal, the cable quality matters a lot more. 5 times more, actually. So it's way better value to get the 10-inch patch cable from Mogami than the. Okay.
But then you've got loose cable flopping around, and that might introduce some hiss.
Oh my God. It
won't.
Okay. Save you a moment.
Don't buy $27 patch cables, folks.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. And don't post crappy reviews that are like, oh, it's great for my Megapene rig.
Megapene rig. Oh, my Lord. Okay, listen up. I think this actually went okay. There's only one place where, there's two places where I have to go in post and fix my sound deployment mistakes. I think I need more screen. I think I need to get Sidecar going with an iPad or something because I literally don't have enough. Anyway, whatever. We'll continue to refine this. But guys in the chat, do you think this is cool? Doing the video thing? Is this going to be cool on YouTube? Is this going to be good to? Is anybody going to consume this on YouTube instead of as the podcast version? Is what I'm really thinking,
so like
I guess.
Justin and I were talking about this, and we were saying that like I don't think we're going to convert any audio listeners because podcasts fold into people's lives in a way that other things don't. So
I think they're totally exclusive human populations too. I know so many people that like when the other podcasts that I do, like we've been doing a YouTube version that's just audio posted on YouTube for a while. As soon as we started doing that, people came in and they were like, "What's a podcast?" They listened to a few episodes of the show and then they joined our Discord and were like, "Cool, man. Yeah, came to hang out." And
What's
like,
a
cool.
podcast?
And
Justin,
like,
it's 2021.
No, they literally, there are people where if they want entertainment, they go to YouTube. They don't know what a podcast is.
I do that, I guess, but I also don't live under a rock, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, whatever. But anyway, it's a totally exclusive population of people, I think.
Yeah. My comment just turned all of those people off, but
Doug just
welcome
said
to the tone
easier.
control.
It's more convenient for some people, for him in particular, to watch on YouTube. So yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll, if I'm being honest, I watch tons of YouTube in like at the desk sense, like it's on in the background or it's just in a little player. And I don't listen to podcasts that way because podcasts for me exist elsewhere. Yeah. In my like life workflow stuff. But like, yeah, I get it. So if you found us on YouTube and whatever, come hang out in the Discord.
Come hang out in Discord. The link is in the notes. And if you like the show and you want to support us, like all the lovely people who are here in the chat room with us now, and I am not putting the chat room on the YouTube because, for one thing, those are some dirty bastards in there. They say some terrible things, and I will not allow that to go onto our video. Plus, that's super secret special stuff that you got to pay for. So,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's the top secret, patrons only zone. Yeah.
So find us on patreon.com/thetonecontrol. And you can become a supporter for as little as $1 a month. We will thank you ever so much. I should be directing this up here. Thank you ever so much for your support. And we'll thank you on every single episode of the show. For $2 or more per month, you will be a supporter plus, which means you get a special role in Discord where you can join us for the super secret recording. You can watch the show live before it ever hits podcast.
Oh, look at you just throwing watch the show in. That was great. Good job.
Yeah, there we are. And anyway, yeah, and you can heckle us in the chat and throw shade at the pedals that we have. Apparently, our supporters for this episode are Ryzen Wolf, Andrew Walsh, Jamie Evans, Jeffrey Wright, Doug King, Doug Gann, Righteous Ryan Johnson, Steve Huffman, Jonas Sabatini, Eric Baldi, OG friend of the show, Brian Rizzi, Doug Christ of 37 Effects, Sean Wright of Lollygagger Effects, and Brian Gower and Kyle McIntyre of the Tone Jerks podcast. Thank you all ever so much for your support.
Hey, speaking of the Tone Jerks podcast, the next time we record, which is the 29th, that night I'm gonna, after we finish up the tone control, I'm gonna go record with the Tone Jerks. So I'm filling in for Kyle while Kyle's like dealing with moving to Texas. So if you haven't heard about that, go listen to the Tone Jerks. So me and Brian are gonna talk about some shit. I don't know. We haven't really talked about that part yet. But
probably guitars. Who knows what else?
Probably guitars and probably some kind of stuff. But I'll post here when that goes up. But yeah.
Cool. That's all sounding really great. And we were supposed to do some other funny stuff. What?
So nothing. I'm just pinning stuff. One of my favorite things to do in Discord is to pin messages completely out of context. Just so we can look back at all the funny inside jokes later.
All right. Well, I think we were supposed to do. We're still trying to get together some more Tone Jerks tone control crossover podcast. So maybe that's one of the things you guys can talk about.
Yeah, we can figure that out finally.
We need to get those clowns back over here, and yeah, and it'll be good. All right. I think this went pretty well. I have organized this so I can play the theme music here at the end, and then when we're all done and we can say goodbye for another 2 weeks, I can just fade it up, and we'll
Bye,
just
everybody.
fade away. Later, Gators.